Impacted! We are impacted! Impacted! We're ready to get up! We want to win! Light the fire of power and make us free! We never break down! We want to win! We are impacted! The best team!
Hello and welcome back to episode 49 of Impacted, coming to you live via the Total Nonstop Impact Network on YouTube and, of course, Twitch. I'm your host, Bison, and today I am joined by Mr. Daily Giggle himself, the Joker, and, of course, the man simply known as Steve. Hello, fellas. How you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Good. Now, listen, guys. I just wanted to let you know that Boomer Bison has been doing some baking today, and she managed to make a couple of cupcakes. She did say she wanted to make some for the boys, so I said, well, you know, not a problem. I'll take them in the cave. It shouldn't be too much of an issue. Now, the thing is, I've already eaten mine. I decided, you know, backstage that I'd have a munch on Steve's. He enjoyed it, didn't you, Steve?
Oh yeah, it was very nice.
It was very nice. So I think during the show, Joe, I might have a little go on yours. Obviously, because I'm eating them for you, I don't obviously end up digesting all the calories. That's obviously yours. So it's not such a big deal, really. You know what I mean? So I hope once I tuck in that you enjoy it, buddy. All right, I hope you enjoy it. There it is. From Boomer Bison. Thanks for that, sweetheart. Love it. Anyway, back to the show. Now, this week is going to be quite a show, actually. I just want to quickly say hello to Mir. Nice to see you, bud, joining us, as always. But it's going to be a bit different this week because other than the fact that we were just going to quickly touch on the fact that unfortunately, the news out there at the moment is that Sammy Callahan has broken his ankle and the recent set of tapings. So I just want to send all the best to Sammy. Get well soon, bud. You know, I believe from some of the news that I've seen, he's out of hospital. He's had the operation done. So that's all good news. And he's going to be on the mend. He's still probably going to be out now, certainly for the rest of the year, and probably not going to be back in the ring now. I wouldn't have thought until probably halfway through next year, which is a real shame. But I don't think that's going to be the end of Sammy on TV. I'm pretty sure we will get to see Sammy Callahan in some capacity. And the thing is, he's going to be around. You know, you can't take someone like Sammy Callahan out of the locker room. You can't take him out of creative. The guy has got so much talent when it comes to creative side of things, being creative and everything else. I'm sure we'll start seeing a few more Callahan uncensored turning up and a few other bits and bobs as well. So I don't think that's going to be the last that we see of Sammy. Maybe he could take up on a role very similar to EY, for instance, you know, where he's starts leading up a stable, starts building a stable of some sort, maybe. I don't know. But what are your thoughts on this, boys? What are your thoughts?
It's shocking. It was totally out of the blue. He's going to be out for 6 to 8 months is the estimated timeline that they've given. And it's like what happened when Rich Swann got injured. Just again, unexpected. It's just sadly, it's just something that happens in wrestling. It's not a fluffy, cuddly game. It's a brutal entertainment.
Exactly. You know, and these things happen. It's unfortunate. It's a shame, but like I said, you know, these things happen, and you know, we can never be surprised when somebody gets injured. In reality, what about you, Steve?
Yeah, as you say, it's such a shame of the timing. You know, it was coming at a time in such a pivotal storyline where, you know, we were starting to see like such a long-term story happen, and you wonder how it's going to sort of hinder it. And the way that the injury is kind of played out, you know, it could be Slamversary by the time you see him back in the ring again.
Exactly. It certainly could be a little while, but I know what I do know is that Sammy Callahan is a massive part of Impact, not only in the ring but outside the ring as well. So
Oh, yeah.
no matter what happens, get well soon, Sammy.
Yep.
Take it steady. I mean, don't forget the other thing it obviously messes up for Sammy is Wrestling Revolver. Is the comeback for the reunion of the Switchblade Conspiracy, which
Yeah,
we
they're
were
going
all
to take on
looking
the
forward to.
We're going to have them versus the Wolves.
Exactly. So what's going to happen there now? I'll be interested to see what happens there with Wrestling Revolver. Definitely. Now, listen, guys, that's pretty much all I want to touch on, really, because we've got one massive Victory Road recap and review to do. We've got 10 matches, boys, 10 matches, as well as obviously all the information or all the stuff leading into tomorrow's shows as well. So it's a big show this week. It's a bit of a beast. So, all left say, get well soon, Sammy. I just want to say a quick welcome to Punk. We've got Anna in the house. We've got Van Gary's here, which is fantastic. Did I see? Who else did I see? I saw somebody else as well. Who else did I see? I did mention Van, didn't I? So Van, Punk,
Yes, yeah.
Anna is in the house, and of course Gary and Mir and Punk. Oh, fantastic. Great to see everybody, getting involved and coming and checking out the show. We do appreciate it. Right. Okay. Let's crack on, guys. Let's crack on. Let's get smashing into Victory Road. It was a hell of a show. And it was one of those shows, although I had 10 matches on the card in the end, it seemed to go by in a flash. I thought it was a great show. And I really enjoyed it top to bottom. Now, obviously, it happened this past Saturday, 18th September, on the Impact Plus. So it was an Impact Plus special. And it kicked off with none other than Steve Macklin versus P.T. Williams versus TJP. Now, it was a hot match to kick off the special. Lots of fast-paced and hard-hitting offense from all three guys. But Macklin looked like an absolute beast once again for me. At the end of the day, PT hits TJP with a destroyer. Macklin hits PT with a mayhem, and and basically gets the pin over TJP in the win. Now, Macklin gets the pin. Now, that was a quick summary of the match, but I know that you guys are seriously got a lot to say about this one, because I have to say, for me, this was a really, really good match to open the show. What were your thoughts on this one, Joe? I can see you smiling. What are your thoughts?
I was surprised it opened the show. It was a great match to open the show with. I thought they would have saved it at least for the second or third match here. And I thought they would open with Taylor Wilde and Tino Dashwood, but when it opened, I was just brimming end to end, and P.T. Williams and TJP really knocked the hell out of each other throughout the entire match as well, not to take anything away from Steve Macklin. And the way the crowd was behind everybody but TJP was quite surprising as well. It seemed for whatever reason, the crowd just didn't want to back TJP. And he just played off of that even more, kicking everyone's ass even more. And but the finish was awesome. It was great. It was great to see PT not get pinned this time. So P.T. Williams has got some more momentum now, and him and Macklin are probably going to be fighting through to Bound for Glory. I think it's going to be like we're going to finish it one way or another, come Bound for Glory. But Macklin's just absolutely amazing. He's yet to lose by pinfall or submission. Still, he's lost a match, but that was by disqualification. He's going almost EC3.
yeah, definitely. Can I just, before I ask you yourself there, Steve, can I just say to Mir, yes, I am not talking about it. End of. I got nothing on the matter. I think enough's been said. This is a positive show. I'm not interested in any of that stuff. So there you go. Done. I'm not even going to mention his name, but there you go. Can I just say a quick thank you to Punk for purchasing Super Sticker there. Appreciate that. Thank you ever so much. Anyway, Steve, what are your thoughts on this match?
Yeah, like you've both said, I mean, I'll kind of go in the other direction as what Joe said. Is when we had the matches that were announced, I half expected this one to be the opener, because you always have that X Division match as the opener, and besides the X Division title match, this was the X Division, the other X Division match, and it was a hot match, like you say, to kick the show off. All three men worked at times well together and used each other to bounce off each other, really well. And I liked the times when TJ and Petey were trying to one up each other, and then at times, had that teamwork together. So that was quite interesting. And I felt commentary at the end of the match was very good to kind of showcase how well Macklin used his finisher to get rid of Petey to then get the pin on TJ.
Yeah, the commentary was spot on. They really put every key moment in the match. They were bang on point. The commentary was just on fire throughout the entire night. So just shows that Matt Striker and D'Lo Brown are awesome team.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, do you know what I thought, which was really good, is that, at the end of the day, what we had on the go home show, we had Josh, and there's nothing taken away from Josh at all, because when we get Josh every now and again, you seem to get a lot more enthusiasm from him because it's not on it all the time. So I didn't actually think he was that bad. But then when you then get that change over and you've got all of a sudden you've got Matt Striker, then for me it was quite a nice kind of change. Do you know what I mean? It was quite a nice change. So I really appreciated that. I really enjoyed it. I love the commentary, and it made a massive difference. You're right, and you're right. This was a hot match. And I felt it was just, it was all about sort of kind of really showcasing Macklin, because he's in there, he's taken out two strong X Division competitors, veterans, former champions, proving that he is, all that he says he is. He is Mr. Mayhem. So I was happy for that. Macklin deserved it. Yep. I think it was a good match.
I love his finishing move. It's still really impressive, that finisher. I love it so.
Yeah,
awesome.
It is. It's a badass. Yeah, he is badass all over, definitely. But yeah, he then moved on to which was the bonus match, because again, this match itself was not advertised at all. And then all of a sudden we get this 5-way sort of kind of X Division style match, which was quite frankly fucking awesome. We had Black Taurus versus John Skyler versus Jake Something versus the Radio Kid versus Trey Miguel. And I've written here, this was a great match. It was fast, athletic, high-flying, hard-hitting, straight from the start. Standout for me were Skyler, Taurus, and Laredo Kid. Styler is impressive. He's been impressing me as a heel every time I see him now. Every time his heel heat gets stronger and stronger. And Taurus really showed what he can do in this in terms of athletic lucha libre style, and his hard-hitting power moves as well. But then, all of a sudden, here comes Laredo Kid, who was an absolute beast in this match, fully deserved to get the win. Some crazy top rope moves, including his moonsault to Skyler, which pretty much ended the match. Laredo Kid getting the win. Fantastic match. Absolutely loved it. Now, I did hear a rumor before we get into it, boys. I did hear a rumor that this was actually a match that was filmed at the last set of tapings, but had a different character other than Laredo Kid, I believe. And obviously, we don't want to talk about it too much, and we understand the reasoning why they decided to refilm this match with a different character. But I think we all know, a game character from the past. I think we all know what we're talking about. And it, again, probably very inappropriate at this time. So completely understand why they did that. And that was a good move from Impact. Well done, guys. So getting back to the match. Steve, we'll go with you first. What were your thoughts on this bad boy?
Well, like I said about the first match, when the matches were announced, that to me was the opener. And then when this 5-way came out of nowhere, it kind of felt like this should have been the opener. This kind of felt like a more X Division, fast-paced match that would have really brought the crowd, popped the crowd. So yeah, this to me felt more of an opener to a pay-per-view. And that right there says what I thought of the match. It was fast paced, it was hard hitting, and I think the thing I liked as well was every single wrestler in the match brought something different. There you could maybe argue Trey and Laredo Kid was slightly similar, but even Trey and Laredo Kid, you know, Trey has added more to his offense that makes him different to Laredo Kid now. And it's funny what the ones you picked out, because for me, I thought Trey and Jake stood out in this match.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, I mean, you know, I don't think there was anybody in this match that didn't smash it. It was just for me. It was just for me. Those particular three did stand out for me personally.
I mean, everyone stood out really.
But it was a really good match. It was a really good match.
It's interesting they see that Skylar took the pin again from Laredo Kid.
There's an ongoing
rivalry between the two of them. So
there's definitely a feud there. Yeah. So what about you, Jay? What were your thoughts?
This was awesome. I was just like brimming from the whole thing with TJP and Steve Macklin and Pete Williams, wondering how can they top this now and keep the momentum going. And they didn't even talk about it when they ran down all the matches. It just came out of nowhere, so it blew me away. And like Steve said, Jake something had an impressive showing in this match, and Laredo Kid, John Skyler as well. They were awesome, and Black Taurus. You know, he got to go up against some Laredo Kid, someone who he knows pretty well, someone with a similar wrestling style to him. So it was good to see Black Taurus sort of wrestle like he's back in Mexico again, to really see the Lucha Libre style come out between both of them. Everyone had their moments in this match. There was nobody outshone the other person, nobody upstaged the other person too much. It was just really well balanced and really fast paced, and the finish was awesome. Like the way the Raider Kid getting that moonsault fest press is just insane, and it's building on the rivalry that's building between him and John Skyler. So we're still due a rubber match between the two of them.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, you're right, Mir. It was Bill that was talking about that. Did it? I guess he mentioned it on I didn't actually see the review show, but Bill did actually tell me about that, so that's all cool. No, it's fantastic. Can I just welcome Mark, please? We haven't seen Uncle Mark for a few weeks, so it's nice to see Uncle Mark in the chat, which is fabulous. We've got Slowpoke who's turned up as well, so it's nice to see you, brother. Nice to see the support. And yes, I am Team Skyler. I'm proper Team Sky. Just
got you on board, have we? We've got you on board now, have we?
I'm definitely on board with the Skyler thing. Definitely, I wasn't sure to begin with, but hey, you know, it's fist pump to John Skyler. That's what I say. So it's all good. So that was I think that was it was a fantastic match, fantastic bonus match. Don't forget, leave your thoughts in the chat. We are interested in your thoughts on this one as well. Who did you think? Who was your standout? You know, I'm well interested to see what you guys have to say on that one. So we move on to the next match, which was Tennille Dashwood with obviously the Influence, Madison Rain and Caleb with a K, versus Taylor Wilde and of course her friends Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering. Now this match was a tale of two halves. So I think the first half was full of shenanigans, especially with Caleb and Madison with Grace and Ellering trying to stop them, but Tennille getting the better of Taylor during this part of the match. We then get all four ringsiders removed by the ref, which I think was a fantastic move there. I think it was Brandon Talbot. So good move there, buddy. And then we get a different match completely with a lot of to and throw, but ending with Taylor avoiding the spotlight kick and hitting her German suplex to perfection to get the win with the 1-2-3. Now, you know, I'm a massive Taylor Wilde fan, so I'm over the moon with this one. You know, the more I see people getting 1-2-3s over Taylor Wilde, over Tennille Dashwood, the better. So it was for me. I think this was a a pretty strong showing. I think for me, the second half of the, like I said, it was a 2-half thing. I think the second half of this match was much stronger than the first. However, the storytelling was quite good, all the way through. So there was a good story told all the way through. What did you think on this one, Joe?
I think I've said this about Tennille Dashwood almost every week since come up Summerversary. This is one of the better matches she's had since she's come into Impact Wrestling, and working with people like Taylor Wilde and Madison Rayne just really pushed it even forward for her. I was expecting Tennille Dashwood to get the win, and I was gladly disappointed. Gladly proven. Oh, I don't know whatever one. Something.
Surprised?
You weren't disappointed, Joe. You weren't disappointed.
Yeah.
That's what
whatever outcome contradicts what I was trying to say. That either way, it was awesome to see Taylor Wilde getting the win. The way the whole match broke down between Jordan Grace and Roger Ellering got thrown out. That was really funny. It was like you said, it's great in-ring storytelling. It's great development of the whole match. Because obviously, if Caleb BK and Madison Rayne were going to go, then they couldn't make Tennille Dashwood would end up just walking out and getting herself disqualified if she was outnumbered. So it was great to see how that was instantly counteracted. And it's also going to be building onto something good this week, I'm sure. But this isn't over. But I was impressed with the whole match, and it just added to the whole narrative of Victory Road is that there was no bad match in the entire night. Even this one, people would say you'd expect one to be a weak one because not everyone's like fully invested into Tennille Dashwood. But even she even did a good job in the ring, and that actual mat ability and everything. It was just really good to see a bit more variety from her. And Taylor Wilde just wants to improve that. She might have been gone for 5-10 years, but nothing's changed. She's just gotten better instead.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not disputing. I am not disputing she's not a good wrestler. I'm not disputing she's not got better over the last year. I think her character has improved. I think her wrestling has improved. She's certainly more and more invested in the, in being an Impact knockout now. Which is great. I just don't like her. So the more losses she gets, the better, as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, just a quick welcome to Paul. Hello, Paul, joining us all the way from Hawaii, I believe. Which is great to see. So that's fantastic. So what were your thoughts on this match, Steve?
I agree with both of you that the second half of the match, it didn't really get going until everyone was kicked out. And then that is when we really saw both women like what they could really do, and that is when the match really started to get going. Although I do have to question why Taylor even brought Jordan and Rachel to the ring, because they didn't really offer anything at all in the form of trying to kind of equal out the sort of. Equalizer, did they? They kind of just stood there while consistent interference was happening.
I suppose it's showing that they're taking the moral high ground by being the good guys.
Yeah,
how's it taste?
Go on, Joe.
How's it taste, Joe?
Oh, delicious!
Is it nice?
Salty.
I'm loving this. I'm loving it. Like I said, you're taking all the calories. It's fantastic.
But no, I was going to say
that,
like,
really, really good match.
Yeah, but I do think Tennille needed the win more.
Yeah.
To be honest, I couldn't care less. I'm happy for Taylor to win.
But you've brought this new team, the Influence, together, and they can't buy a win at the minute. I mean,
but this wasn't a tag team match, was it? It was just an individual against an individual.
But even so, they still need to kind of get some credibility, don't they?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do, Steve. Steve, you're right. You're right. Tennille should have won this match. It's shocking.
If it would have been Taylor rather than Tennille,
I don't know. Good God, shocking. Tennille Dashwood should have won this. I can't believe she lost to that blooming has-been Taylor Wilde. It's just unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
You're reading Madison Rayne's right.
You know I'm joking, right?
Yeah, Bison's just pretending he's Madison Rain.
All I know is I'm happy to see T-Neil Dashwood, shoulders down, 1, 2, 3, boom, done. I'm sorry if you're a T-Neil Dashwood fan. I know Steve clearly is. He wants to see her win. You know, he's obviously one of her 2.5 million, Twitter followers or something. I don't know. I think he loves Taste of Tennille. I think he's a big fan of that. So I totally get where he's coming from. But and I agree. If we can get if the Influence need to get some wins under the belt, maybe like you say, maybe it's Madison that needs to get a win. Maybe we could see Madison against I don't know, someone like Lauren. What was her name? I forgot what her name is now. The one that's Brandy Lauren, the one that's just become an undead bridesmaid. Maybe we could see her against her or something like that. And then she can get a win. That would be good. That'd be great. I'd love to see that. We then moved on past this one, and it was Rohit with Shearer, by the way, in his corner versus Matt Cardona on his own, interestingly enough, because obviously because Chelsea has been knocked out. She's, completely out of the picture right now.
All about equality.
Right, exactly. However, Rohit comes in. Cardona then blindsides Rohit during his entrance to the match. We then know that we're going to get ourselves a DQ match here. This is a no DQ. For me, this was like a clinic on how to use chairs in a no DQ match. I thought they were very, very creative in the ring and outside, the ring in action with both men, and some real hard hitting as well. Like, which to me, I was like, whoa, which was good to see as well. Now, after an initial choke slam from She-Ra, He-Man's sister, he then leaves the ring for Rohit to finish the job. However, that was not the case, as Cardona gave as good as he got. Cardona's execution of the cutter onto that steel bin was perfection. And this match was pure entertainment, I felt, like pretty much the whole match. And eventually, we get a run-in from Chelsea Green, who attacks Rohit, which then allows Cardona to hit the radio silence and, of course, get the 1, 2, 3 for the win. I really enjoyed this match. I really enjoyed it. It was a no DQ. I still don't think we're getting the most out of Matt Cardona, but I thought, the use of the chairs, the use of the trash can, etc., I thought was all done to perfection with some really cool storytelling in that ring, the way that it all sort of kind of unfolded. Let's go with you. I've just given you a hard time about T-Neil Dashwood, Steve. I'm going to let you go first on this one. What are your thoughts?
Well, no, I can't agree more. Like this, considering this, like I agree with you. Like I don't think we're getting enough out of Cardona, and I think I've been very hot and cold on him here, and even in this feud, I've been like, part of it yes, part of it no. But you really felt like both men wanted to tear each other apart, and it felt like only one would leave alive kind of match. They and you were with them. You really felt like, you were with them every step of the way. Loved the intensity, and like you said, it was an education in how to use chairs. It was like, can you top this? Again, like we spoke about in the first, I think it was the first match, the commentary really helped. D'Lo especially was fantastic in this match.
Okay, yeah. I'm not gonna disagree on that. I think you're right. I think when it comes to the storytelling in the ring, you have to have decent commentary to also make that happen. Looks like we've lost Joe for a couple of minutes there. Can I just ask, while Joe's not in, has the noise disappeared, Mir? Because I know that you're saying you get funny noises in the background sometimes. So let us know if that's now disappeared, because it could be it's Joe's birds or whatever it is in the background. I'm not quite sure, but anyway, just let us know. Now, interesting enough, from Gary, he's put, I could see Cardona and a Rohit alliance and a Shearer face turn. That would be interesting. I don't know. I'm not sure, but it definitely could be interesting. And like Ville or Anna says, patience, grasshopper, long-time storytelling, and people finding their place. I kind of agree with that as well. I think it was a really, really great match. Again, it was one of those matches that just seemed to be over in a flash, and yeah, it was a good 10-minute match.
Yeah, and it started correctly with Cardona just coming out and beating the hell out of Monroe Heat. He didn't come out to his usual kind of music and kind of like nothing was wrong. He went straight out there like I wanna kill you kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm here for a fight. You know, I'm not here for the show. I'm here for a fight, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. Well, while we're waiting for Mr. Joker to come back, we'll just crack on. So we've got we then move on to the Bullet Club, which the Bullet Club, Chris Bay and Hikuleo versus Finn Juice, David Finlay, and obviously Juice Robinson. For me, Chris Bay really is the perfect choice for the Bullet Club in this, in this match where he teams with fellow Bullet Club member Hikuleo. It's just, it just further cemented it, really, to be honest, this match. It was a great match. Again, storytelling from start to finish. We saw Bullet Club going for the injured leg of Juice from the start, which is exactly what you would expect from them. But we eventually got the tag. Finlay came out like a lightning bolt to walk straight into the near 7 foot tall Hikuleo, who soon slowed him down with an awesome vertical suplex, which was just incredible. And it was one of those. It was the hold it up there ones as well. Blood throw to the head. Have some of that. That soon slowed him down for sure. In all honesty, Finn Juice put up a great fight, but this match was all Bullet Club as they picked up the victory in the end. Now, I am slowly really turning into quite a Bullet Club fan, I have to be honest. What are your thoughts on this one? We'll go with Joe as he disappeared. What are your thoughts on this one, buddy?
It was awesome. It was an awesome match. Finn Juice, once again, really, really strong showing. Really, really impressive showing. But Chris Bay really, really excelled himself again in this match as well. You could say it was beautiful. His in-ring performance was absolutely beautiful.
It was beautiful.
It really, really got to showcase just what Chris Bay and the Bullet Club is actually going to do for him. It's not just something to boost the Bullet Club. It's really, really pushing Chris Bay out of his limit, and his moveset's changed a lot more. His endurance has gone sky high, and his aggression's gone through the roof. And Hikuleo made an impressive showing as well. It was just another solid match from start to finish.
I agree. What about you, Steve? What do you think?
Yeah, like you've said, Bay already had everything, and putting him with the Bullet Club is going to elevate the Bullet Club and elevate him too. And yeah, I couldn't agree more with what Joe said. I'd not seen much of Hikuleo, but so I was very interested to see him, and I thought he was mighty impressive. I really did. Even the small things like when he had that vertical hold on Finlay, and then he brought him down, but he didn't just drop him. He sort of brought him down with that snap slam.
Bridge suplex. That was where he bridged it down. That was awesome. It's an amazing show of athleticism. Guys are almost 7 foot tall, and you can judge the distance of how far he could easily just dropped him over the rope or dropped into the turnbuckle. So his in-ring awareness and ring presence is fantastic, and the way that move was executed was just awesome.
I totally agree with I agree with both of you. I thought this was a fantastic match, and it was really I really enjoyed it top to bottom. And you're right, Chris Bay is outstanding. He's Bay fabulous. That's for sure. So once this one was done, I'm missing out all the backstage segments. I don't think they're necessary. We got so much to talk about with the matches.
Well, there's only 2.
There was, and I think that's probably why the show just ran so sweetly.
That's probably why they had 10 matches. In the way they done that was cut out a lot of the backstage segments.
Yeah, it just ran so beautifully with a couple of backstage moments to set up, later on. But other than that, it was like, match. It was great. Now, we then had Moose and W. Morrissey versus Sammy and Eddie with Alicia in Eddie's corner, obviously, because she, as we found out earlier in the night, she doesn't trust Sammy at all, and she wanted to watch Eddie's back. Big mistake. But anyway, big question in this match was, can Sammy and Eddie work together? We know that they at the pre-show, at the go home show, that they worked together in that match, that 10-man sort of kind of tag. But there's a difference when you're in a team of 5 to just the 2 of you, and you just got to rely on each other. That's a different kettle of fish. I think this match started off really, really strong with Sammy Eddie working well, but it did not take long for Morrissey and Moose to shift that early flourish. We saw some hard hitting from both teams during this matchup. Power bombs, power drivers, some awesome belly to bellies from Eddie as always. Which I just, I don't know what it is about Eddie's belly to bellies, but Jesus Christ, they are so good. And he can fly anybody from one side of the ring to the other. It doesn't matter who they are. As we saw in the match, in the 10-man tag on the go home show, where he literally threw Moose, of all people, from one turnbuckle to the other. I couldn't believe it. I just could not believe he was able to do that on Moose. It was a fantastic move. We saw some great stuff again in this match. But eventually, Morrissey gets his hands on Alicia. Power bombs her in the middle of the ring. Clearly, Eddie was worried. He was going to be upset and worried for his wife. As he was leaving, he was saying sorry to Sammy several times. But he has to help. He obviously helps his wife to the back, leaving Sammy alone. Sammy, then basically gets destroyed. So, with a spear, and Sammy gets pinned 1, 2, 3. Okay, now for me, I was feeling that this was not over, and we then seen the revival of Sammy versus Eddie, because Sammy's now going to be pissed at Eddie for leaving him. But now knowing what's obviously happened, unfortunately, to Sammy, that's potentially put a halt to this one. However, maybe it was some sort of kind of hardcore match, Sammy versus Eddie, that we're going to get to see in the coming weeks. It all happened. We don't know. But what I do know is that I really, really enjoyed this match. And again, it's the same thing. One thing we always seem to get is great commentary, great storytelling in the ring, which is, again, bolstered by the great storytelling from commentary as well. What were your thoughts on this one, Steve, brother?
Yeah, like you said, that there's so many things up in the air after this match now, because they put so many great strides into so many things going into the match, and after the match, it felt like everything was heading in a good direction. Because I think all of us felt like, well, how can this match end? Where can it go? Because you feel both teams needed the win, and after it ended, you're like, okay, we see where it's kind of heading now. And I mean, a few of the notes I've got are kind of all over the place. Eddie hitting the Blue Thunder Bomb on Morrissey. I mean, oh God, that was impressive. But I loved how Stryker called Eddie the best wrestler in the match, but not that really matters in a match like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. And I mean, I'll often kind of be watching things and sort of saying, okay, that was good, and still always have something kind of to say. But that power bomb on Lish, I was literally left speechless. I'm like, I didn't even have any air to kind of breathe out.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine? That must have took the wind right out of her.
Yeah.
Oh God, Jesus Christ! What about you, Joe? What were your thoughts on this bad boy?
The match was awesome, and the match didn't fail to deliver at all. Just a second, this dog's jumping up on the table.
That's because we're talking about Sammy, brother.
Yeah, I know. Eddie Edwards and Sammy Callahan, they've worked together so well. You know, everyone would expect the tension between them to just cause them to fall apart, and it would break down really quickly. But no, and even when Eddie Edwards took Alicia Edwards out the match to rest up, you know, Sammy Callahan didn't seem pissed off about it. He actually seemed to understand that Eddie was doing what was right. So that there seems to be this mindset that Sammy Callahan and Eddie Edwards were going to be on the same page right the way through to Bound for Glory. So we probably would have got Moose and Morrissey versus Eddie and Sammy again at Bound for Glory, or them and the Good Brothers possibly even involved. But
yeah,
but the offense from both teams was awesome, especially the double team moves and the hot tags at the start between Sammy and Eddie, just to lighting up Morrissey's chest. Literally like five minutes into the match, his chest is bright red, and then they get Moose and do the same to him. It was great tandem offense. And then Alicia was taking that power bomb. My jaw dropped. I know, and I can't believe that Morrissey actually went almost full pelt with that move. He didn't like half-ass it. He went he literally really went full pelt, and she bounced off the mat and everything. It reminded me of Killer Cross when he threw Taya Valkyrie off the stage into the crowd. It was that level of intensity, but you don't see the internet blowing up over Alicia Edwards getting power bombed. But everyone doesn't like Rohit Raju kneeing Chelsea Green in the face.
You're right.
Yeah. I mean, credit to Alicia for taking it.
Yeah,
oh, Christ. I mean, he's 7 foot. Morrissey is 7 foot tall. Well, he's like, I don't know, 6'10", 6'11" or something. But the bottom line is the dude is massive and Alicia is tiny. So, you know, she's up in the air there. I mean, she might as well be on top of a skyscraper.
She's almost like 9 feet in the air at least.
Yeah, I was going to say that, yeah.
It was incredible. Fair play to Alicia Edwards for that. It was just an amazing moment. And like you say, we just couldn't believe it. But look, I literally took my breath away watching that. Can I just say a big welcome to Hakeem Fullerton? Nice to see you, buddy. He's got some countdown to BFG articles coming out at the moment, so make sure you go and check those out.
And you can't teach that.
Exactly. And also, I noticed we've got another Gary in the house. Gary Movie Emporium. Nice to see you, brother Gary. And of course, it seems that we've got the Garys in the house, so it's all good. So, yeah, you're right. You're definitely right. Alicia is hardcore. You can't teach that. So it's all good. But yeah, so this was an incredible match. I was absolutely gobsmacked at the way it ended. But yeah, what a great match that was. We then moved on to the Knockouts Tag Team Championship. I was actually quite looking forward to this one, being a massive Decay and Rosemary fan, especially. You know, obviously we had Decay and Havoc, Rosemary and Havoc as the reigning Knockouts Tag Champs versus Tasha Steelz and Savannah Evans, who were holding the belts hostage. Yeah, as always, there was a huge reception for Decay. This is one of them things that always stands out for me. You know, when Decay come out, the crowd just go crazy, and I love this. It just goes to show how over they are. They're kind of the over's heel, sort of tweener heel faction, because they're supposed to be heels, but they're just so over. It's insane. They must be the most over kind of heel faction in wrestling today. They must be. But anyway, for me, it had it all, this match from both teams. I was impressed with Savannah Evans' contribution too, but eventually Rosemary sprayed the mist in her eyes ringside to allow Havoc to hit that tombstone. Tasha obviously then took the pin, and it was 1, 2, 3. That was it. Decay retained, reclaim rightfully their titles, walking out with the tag belts. Now, I didn't want to go too in depth on this one, me personally, because I know that there's one particular person on the TNI team that probably has got a lot to say about this match. So, Joe, take it away, brother.
God, what can I say? The way the match started off was really interesting too. You know, we expected old Decay to come down and showboat like they usually do, but instead we got the that rage that their belts had gone. Rosemary and Havoc said to them that we were going to take what was ours, and we're going to take. They came down, they destroyed everybody. Havoc is getting a really good showing now, a lot more now that Decay they've sort of like accepted that Havoc is now officially a part of Decay. Is that, you know, even when they first won the tag titles, she wasn't getting enough exposure, and this match really brought out a lot from Havoc as well. And Savannah Evans, like you said, she just showed that her and Tasha Steelz are a fantastic team, and it's going to be interesting to see how things go forward for them. It was great to see the Poison Mist again from Rosemary too. I must admit, I missed that so much. It was all I'm hoping we see now. I hope we see the red wedding again. That would, even if it's just like a one-off signature move, that would be awesome to see. But I love all the offense that Rosemary got, and all the trash talking from Tasha Steelz was brilliant as well. It was just a solid tag match, and it's hard. There's no fault in this match. It's going to be a repetitive narrative for every match. I think there's no fault in it at all. It was just so well put together. It was great.
Okay.
To say it's great is very lightly stated, I must admit. But I'm trying not to be over enthusiastic on how much I enjoyed this match, because I go on for hours.
I know you can. Just to let everybody know, if you've not read Joe's article on WrestleBuddy.com with regards to the beautiful Rosemary, and he's sporting the Rosemary T-shirt tonight. Make sure you head over and check it out. It's a really good read. I'd recommend that to everybody. Really give that a good read. Joe put so much time and effort into it, and I know that there's more to come as well. This is only the first installment, I believe, Joe. Is that right? Yes.
It was going to be from 2016 through to Slammiversary this year, but over the time writing it from July through to September, we got Sammy come here. We had another issues had come up at home, so it sort of made writer's block a bit of an issue. And then looking over the timeline between the storyline between Rosemary, Su Yung, and Ali, that added a lot of spanners into the works as well. So I spent a long time sifting through the right videos to put together to add to the blog, any images I could find, and just picking out the key parts of such a complex story to making, and then splitting that up with the Ty Valkyrie rivalry. That's all in the second part, Ty Valkyrie and Rosemary. That's where I'm working on to next, as well as the death of Ali. And then part 3 will be the end of the Undead War, and the end of Ty Valkyrie and Decay coming back. But the second one is literally the death of Ali, Rosemary, and Ty Valkyrie, and what they did together, right up until Rosemary and Ty Valkyrie going for Slammiversary against Havoc and Su Yung, and then So it was getting the right timeline to break it up was hard, and I was hoping to. I asked everyone if you wanted me to go from start to finish, and you said you'd wait, but the mental block was too much. I had to split up to give me some time to sit back and think a bit more.
There you go, buddy. I think it's going to be good. We're looking forward to part 2 and 3, aren't we, Steve?
Oh, definitely. Like, I've been reading Joe's article since I think last week, and I'm on the bottom of page 1.
It's that long. Well,
you get some full matches there too. You got the full match of Abyss versus Jimmy Havoc. You've got Delete or Decay. You've got Rosemary versus Jade in the Monsters Ball, and at one of the one night only matches, you got Rosemary and Sienna.
Wow!
And you've also got the
amount of people that Rosemary has worked with.
And you got Rosemary versus Laura Van Ness, and you got the entire segment of Ali going through to the Undead Realm to rescue Kira Hogan.
Exactly. There was loads. There's loads of stuff in there, guys. Honestly, check it out. WrestleBody.com/impact, I believe it is. Make sure you check that out. So, Steve, what were your thoughts on this match?
The match itself, I thought was decent. I don't know. I considering what both of you two have said, maybe I'm the odd one out, but I felt like I had trouble getting into this one. There were times where I felt like it was sort of in second gear, but then struggled getting into third gear for some reason. I still want to see more tag team offense from Decay. I feel like we're getting we're getting a lot of like single offense, and that's about it. They still feel, although they are coming out as Decay, we're still seeing them as two singles wrestlers, and even Savannah Evans and Tasha Steeles, they still feel like two singles wrestlers, and maybe that was the trouble here, that it never reached that third gear because it never maybe felt like a tag teams. It felt like four singles, maybe.
Okay, I get that. So there's not enough cohesive
maybe
kind of between them yet.
I've just plucked out of off right now, but yeah. But like I say, the match was still good. I will say I was surprised it was this high on the card, but yeah, great effort from all the women. And like Joe said, I loved seeing the mist back because I can't remember when she last used it.
Yeah, we haven't seen the mist for a while.
No.
It looks like Mark loves a good misting, apparently. Brother Mark.
I think if Rosemary misted any of us, we would probably just openly take it.
Oh, definitely.
I think so. Yeah, so I like I said, I think this was a good match anyway. I really enjoyed it, and yeah, don't forget to check out. Joe's article on WrestleBuddy.com. It's well worth, at least a good afternoon of your time reading it. It's really, really good, really strong. Yes, that was a subtle thing there. Did you get it, Joe? Did you see it?
Yeah.
That was good. That was really good. We then moved on to the World Tag Team Championship match, the Good Brothers versus Swan. This match was a long time coming, and many of us have thought this was Swan and Mac's time, including myself. I honestly thought that they were going to. This was their time. They were going to win. They were going to win those tag belts. Interestingly enough, during this match, we saw the classic Good Brothers moves, huge boots, from Gallows, and the gun stuns from Anderson, plus so much athleticism from both Swan and Mac, showing why they are the number one contenders. Lots of to and throw once again, some classic storytelling from all four veterans of the ring. And this is the thing people forget. Yeah, these guys are like veterans of pro wrestling, right? They're, if you were to combine the amount of years all of these guys have been, wrestling, you've got to be looking at 60 years worth of wrestling experience between them. There's a good amount of stuff going on there. So, the problem is that this match ended the same way. At the end of the day, it's a gun stun, magic killer, followed by 1, 2, 3, topped off with a 2 sweeps.
Yeah.
Boom. Good Brothers retain. Let's go to Steve on this one. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'll start with a positive. For me, I love the fact that Rich Swann and Willie Mack came out wearing matching gear. That's definitely a positive in the right direction for them.
Yep.
We haven't seen that, I don't think, in any aspect since they started tagging. So that's definitely a good sign.
Well, it shows that they're obviously investing in them as a tag team, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're definitely looking to put them into the tag team division now. I thought Willie Mack was fantastic in this match. I really did. But like you said, the match ended the same way as it normally does. And all I kept thinking was the build has been fantastic. This is the perfect time to strike on Swan and Mac. It's such a shame that it's happened a month early. This date should have been Bound for Glory. If they'd have started this feud a month later, everything would have lined up.
Yeah. Given Valentine designing the match at Victory Road, and then given Swan and Mac the match at Bound for Glory.
We've still got quite a few shows to build up to Bound for Glory. There's no reason
yeah.
why we don't get a rematch.
But
And maybe
do they,
that-
you know, how do they get in there again? You know, there's
all you need is to have a couple of tag matches that they win,
Mm,
and then all of a sudden they're back in the hunt again.
And the Good Brothers are cocky as well. So the good brothers are going to say, going to give them the shot. Just for, all Swan and Mac need to do is piss them off. Oh,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, if you do want to protect the Good Brothers, you could always throw Finn Juice in there because they haven't had their rematch.
Yeah, they said they were going to go for their rematch or something as well. And of course, we got things done by design. That's probably leading north towards Heath and Rhino at Bound for Glory, I think, versus Dita and Doring is where I see that going. But I can see Swan and Mac and definitely in a match against the Good Brothers at Bound for Glory. With the possibility of Morrissey and Moose, or Eddie Edwards and Sammy Callahan if Sammy Callahan was cleared to wrestle. Those are the 4 teams I see going for the for the tag titles at Bound for Glory, and that would have been awesome, especially for Moose and Morrissey as well, because I really want to see W Morrissey stay on after Bound for Glory. But Swan and Mac versus the Good Brothers at Bound for Glory, I'd love to see that. They'd have to add another stipulation like a ladder match, or preferably a lockdown, because they haven't seen a cage match for a while, forever. But a ladder match would be good too.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, I was going to say that a tag team ladder match would be amazing, and these 4 guys would put on a hell of a ladder match. I think
Definitely.
hell of a ladder match. It'd be insane. I get where you're coming from, Villet. When it comes to the Good Brothers, I don't think they're everyone's cup of tea, but they do bring a lot of eyes to the products, and you know, they do know what they're doing. They're very good in the ring.
Yeah.
You know, and they know exactly what they're doing. So I sort of kind of get it. I get it, definitely.
One of the best thing about the Good Brothers is when the match is finished, and it's like, oh, it's finished. We knew it was going to happen. That's the whole point of the Good Brothers finishing the match. You know, when they finish the match, that's how it's going to finish. And so you always roll your eyes thinking, oh, for fuck's sake, here we go again. But then you listen to them talking, and you forget about how predictable the finish is going to be because they're just so entertaining.
Yeah.
It's hard,
it's
hard in the back of your mind, like the Omega sort of one we named you. Like, is someone ever going to kick out? Is someone going to kick out of the Magic Killer one day? You know.
Oh yeah, definitely. Someone's definitely going to.
Someone's got to. And if it ain't Rich Swann or Willie Mack, who's it going to be? It's got to be one of them two. Definitely.
Morrissey's going to kick out of it. I can guarantee you. They try it on. Yeah, they try it on Morrissey. I reckon he's going to kick out of it.
Maybe.
Actually,
that could be an interesting.
Oh yeah, Gaz can get him up easily.
I mean, there's an option. Morrissey and Moose is a tag team.
Yeah,
they were definitely using tag team offense, weren't they?
They were actually really good. So you know, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. One thing I do know is that the match was much longer than Trent's marriage. That's for sure. Now, swiftly moving on. The X Division Championship match, Josh Alexander versus Chris Saban. Now, this was the match I've been waiting for, and I did not disappoint. In fact, for me, it was probably the match of the night, as predicted. It had it all: storytelling, hard-hitting, athletic, high-flying, submission action from start to finish. Both guys gave it everything. You know, they had it. Boy, it really did give us a treat. It eventually ended with Josh hitting the C4 spike on Saban to get the 1, 2, 3. Josh retains, and he really is the best X Division champ of all time. I have to say that when you look back at the matches that he's had since he's won the belt, you've got to put him in the hunt. You have to put him in the hunt, without doubt. Of course, just a quick note, after the match, it was great to see Saban salute Josh as he raised his hand and clearly whispered some words of admiration and encouragement in his ear. Saban is a true professional and a great performer. Absolutely love it both. Great match. Steve, go for it.
Yeah, like you say, this was we all knew going in it would be a 5-star match. I was very surprised that it was more mat-based. I thought we would see a bit more 50-50, given how Saban kind of works. He likes to kind of go mat based at times and then high flying at times. And I thought he would use the high flying to his advantage, given how he knows that Josh is so good on the mat. But yeah, Saban countered him fantastically, and even had Josh in moments of trouble on the mat. So yeah, I will say though, I felt so bad for Saban in those ankle locks, given his history with his knee issues. I was cringing at times. But yeah, just the fact that Josh ended the match without his headgear and his mouthpiece shows what a battle he was in. It was a fantastic match. I mean, for me, the only drawback was the fact that Saban didn't come out to his Hail Saban music. That would have really topped it off.
That's true. That is very true. But yeah, I mean, it was just amazing. I thought this was a great match, and I agree. Is the style that the style that Josh works at is not for everybody, but for me, it's my favorite, and I just absolutely love it. What about you, Joe? What are your thoughts on this one?
Match of the night again from Josh Alexander. Match of the year again from Josh Alexander. Like you said, he's the best exhibition champion in the world, and if he doesn't get Superstar of the Year this year, then something's very, very wrong with whoever's running those polls, because he has just been absolutely outstanding since the start of the year. The match itself was just brilliant. Like you said, they matched each other move for move from pretty much all the match. It was so really well paced, and you wouldn't have thought it was the longest match of the night. It went on for well over 15, 16 minutes or so.
I think it went 19 in the end.
Yeah, and it was just brilliant, and the finish was good. And I'm just looking forward to seeing who's the next Activision champion, because I can think of one way we can get Ace Austin back into the title picture.
Yeah, without doubt. Yeah, no, you're right on that one. Yeah. So bottom line is, apart from, I don't know, are we all in agreement that the TNI-UK team feel that this was the match of the night, or
definitely?
Are we not? For me, it was.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So TNI-UK unanimous match of the night is Josh Alexander versus Chris Saban. Anyway, all that said, it was a great match, and I cannot wait for whatever comes next for Josh Alexander leading up to Bound for Glory, because I'm still certain we're going to see some badass matches leading up to Bound for Glory. So, guys, main event time. Impact World title match, Christian Cage versus Ace Austin. But at this point, guys, you have come this far with us, so it must mean that you're liking the show. Can I ask that you give us all a thumbs up? Get that out of the way. And of course, if you're new to the show, hit subscribe button, give that bell a tickle, a squeeze, or a smash to never miss any of the great content coming from TNI UK and, of course, TNI US each and every week. Okay, so back to the main event, Victory Road. Now, both guys, I think we had a fantastic reception for this, and it really, really fired up the crowd. I think what's interesting, although obviously, Austin is a heel character, I think there was a lot of people that were definitely 100%, vying for Ace Austin to bring back that world title to an Impact roster member, definitely. But at the same time, there's also, I think, a lot of people in that crowd that are also big Christian Cage fans as well. So I thought it was a real good sort of kind of like even supported match from both sides in this one. So I really like that. We then get obviously the in-ring announcing to make it official feel big deal match. Then we get what for me was a perfect blend in ring general Christian versus the young up-and-coming Ace. The question is, can Ace become the youngest ever Impact World Champion? That was the question. Was that going to happen? But Christian takes control early on, proving why he is definitely the champ We get some distraction from Fulton, allowing Ace to then get the control back. After some great offense from Ace, which at the end of the day, he's got some incredible moves. Fulton is about to attack Christian, but ref stops it before it happens and sends Fulton packing. So great job by Brian Hebner there for sending Fulton packing. Get out there, boy. Get him out. We don't need none of that shenanigans going on. We then get some great to and throw action for both guys. Christian especially looking really, really strong. We then get Fulton turn up from nowhere, to lay some hurt on Christian, but to no avail as Christian gets the win, retains the world title. 1, 2, 3. For me, great match, and Christian did a great job helping to put Ace over in this match, even though Ace was on the losing side. For me, Ace is a future world champion without any shadow of doubt. And I don't know. What were your thoughts on this one, guys? What were your thoughts on this with avoiding what happened after? What were your thoughts on the actual match? Let's go with Joe first.
I loved it. I thought Ace Austin's promo leading into this match as well was bang on as well. Like I said in the last Impacted, Ace Austin's promo work. You think he'd been running in wrestling for well over 20 years or so, but obviously he's only 24, so he's been it's his skill work in the ring and on the mic. You think he's been wrestling longer than he actually is, and he's one of these guys that just doesn't age as he gets older. But Ace Austin's performance in this match was amazing, and Christian did a really good job keeping up with him and keeping Ace Austin under the pace that Christian could work with too. The interference from Fulton wasn't overwhelmed. It wasn't overused and everything. It was done when it was necessary, and most of that was Fulton putting himself in the way to stop Ace Austin getting hurt rather than attacking Christian. So Fulton, once again, is doing what Ace Austin's asking him to. He's not deliberately trying to get Ace Austin in trouble in the match. He's just taking bumps to keep Ace Austin from getting hurt. But some of the moves that Ace Austin pulled off in this match were awesome. And Christian pulling out like the spear to just shout out to Adam Copeland was really, really nice to see. So it's always entertaining to see that. And the finish, I really did hope Ace Austin would have won this match. But I still think Ace Austin could become the next X Division champion, and what I'm hoping, if that does happen, is option C on the same night that we have the world title match, and then we get Ace Austin inserted that way, because that has not been done on Impact Wrestling yet. They have not had the title invoked the same night it's been won. I know people won't. Even I would roll my eyes at the idea, to be honest, because I don't like option C. But I still say, I've said it over the past couple of weeks, that Ace Austin is going to be headlining Bound for Glory one way or another, and that's how I see Ace Austin getting there. And kudos to Christian for showing everyone what an outsider being the world champion can actually do. Everyone was pretty pissed about Kenny Omega's performance as world champion. Well, Christian's rectified that instantly.
I agree with that. I think Christian's come in and he's putting in some great performance. He's really working hard for Impact. And it's funny actually. Gary in the chat there has just said he thought that Ace left Christian pretty winded, and he definitely looked spent at the end of the match.
Definitely,
so
yeah. Ace Austin really worked.
Goes to show how mega talented Ace truly is in the ring. He really is. He's a fantastic wrestler in and out of the ring. Great on the mic. He has the potential to be a fantastic world champion in the future. We got many years of Ace Austin. Let's not give him the world too early. I think it's, we need to pull the trigger on him at some point. But I think you're right. Maybe if we know that we're getting the old option C going on, at the end of the day, once Josh relinquishes that X Division title, he's relinquished it. Bound for Glory is done, right? Yeah. That means that the title is available there and then, because even if he wins the match, he doesn't carry on as X Division champ. Option C is giving that up for a title shot. If you lose, you lose all. You lose everything. So there is no reason why we couldn't see a new X Division champion crowned at Bound for Glory. And if that was Ace Austin, that would be pretty awesome. We get Ace Austin as the X Division champion, and we get Josh Alexander ending up, being the world champion. I can see that happen 100%. What about you, Steve? What did you think on this one?
Yeah, like you guys have said, that anyone who doesn't believe that Ace belongs at the top of the card and playing like wrestling with like some of these big stars needs to go and watch this match, because he proved that he's got everything in him. Like even the promo we cut prior, it was a 5-star promo. He's got everything, all the tools, and like was it Gary says that after the match he probably looked better than Christian did. That may just be to sort of youth or whatever, I don't know, but either way, it was a fantastic match. And yeah, Ace kind of brings everything, gives everything, and I mean that top ropes sent on, I honestly thought Ace had it won.
Yeah, so did I at one point. I thought, oh my God, it's going to change hands right now. But yeah, no, it took me by surprise, because I agree with you. I thought Ace had it won at one point. And then obviously Christian comes back and gets the win. It was such a good match. Well, Christian, of course, is celebrating his win. We then get a very, very confident-looking Josh Alexander come to the ring, stands in front of Christian with a grin, and simply states, "Bang for Glory, option C," which was now obviously led Christian Cage versus Josh Alexander, main event, world title on the line at Bang for Glory. Now, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. You need to sign up to Impact Plus or YouTube Ultimate Insiders to make sure you don't miss these monthly specials. They really are must see, and always lead to builds for the future pay-per-views or next set of tapings or whatever that may be. It's all part of the storyline. If you watch it every week, when you get to these pay-per-views, things happen. When you get to these monthly specials, things happen, which then lead you into the next set of tapings, or like I said, the next pay-per-view. So you need to be signing up. Impact Plus, YouTube Ultimate Insiders, whichever one you choose, whichever one's best for you. Get it done, people. Get it done, because you don't want to miss any of this stuff. Now, that's pretty much the way it ended. It was for me, it was a fantastic fantastic Impact Plus special. I really enjoyed it. Can I just say, I also agree that Kenny Omega was a very good world champion. Regardless of what people think, the argument is not what he did so much in the ring. I think the argument is that he was not a roster member. He was not contracted member of the Impact roster. And yes, I agree, nor is Christian Cage, but at least Christian has a history with the company, which then sort of kind of gives him a bit of a pass, for me, in my opinion. But I did enjoy Kenny Omega. I thought some of the matches Kenny had, I mean, Christ, that match with Sammy was bloody ridiculous. It was just outstanding. You cannot tell me that the guy didn't leave it all in the ring that night. Same with Moose, all of his matches. Rich Swann match was really good. Every single match that he had in a main event with Impact was fantastic. So let's not take anything away from Kenny. But, I'm definitely a little bit more invested in Christian at this time. So, yeah, fantastic night. Impact, probably the best Impact Plus special for me of the year so far. Do you agree, lads, or not?
Oh, I agree. I agree with everything you said about Kenny Omega too. The matches he had with Rich Swann and Sammy Callahan, they showed everyone that Kenny Omega deserved to have that title. They wanted to make a huge shockwave for the business with AEW. So make Kenny Omega your world champion. It was a great way to get Don Callis out of the company as well. So it was all part of Impact Wrestling's long-term plan. It mixed the Good Brothers in together. It mixed Finn Juice in together. We got to see Matt Hardy.
I think what people miss. I think what people miss is that
there's rumors going around that Christopher Daniels might be interested in coming to Impact Wrestling too. Now that he's so that's something else to keep an eye out too.
I agree. But
so it's great to see that. But since Christian's come in, he's like you said, he's a former Impact champion beforehand. He's got such a long history with Impact Wrestling, and TNA made him the star he is now, not the WWE. And
at the end of the day, he went back to WWE a star. didn't he? He went back as a
did.
single star because of his run in TNA. That's a fact, right? You can't deny that, and he knows that. And you're right. Christian puts over the company. I think the issue that with regards to Kenny, the bottom line is this: it was a storyline that they were running, right?
Yeah.
That gave him that heat. So in reality, if you think about it, the heat that was generated against Kenny, he generated through his skill and the storytelling. And so you've got to remember that. You've got to remember that, at the end of the day. But moving on. That was an hour review, guys. I think we did really well on that. Really, really well. Some great comments coming in the chat as well. So it's great to see that. Keep them coming, guys. Now, let's move on to tomorrow night on Impact. I'm a little bit disappointed because we've not had a BTI match announced.
No, we've got Knockouts Knockdown news as well.
We have got some Knockouts Knockdown news. So I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's talk about Knockouts Knockdown quickly. What have we got then, Joe? What have we got? Let's just quickly talk about that, and then we'll move into the advertised Impact Wrestling show after that.
Yeah. Okay. For commentary, we've got Vader and Mickey James on commentary, and Melissa Santos is the in-ring announcer. We have Lady Frost, Renee Michelle. I can't remember everybody else off the top of my head, but Lady Frost and Renee Michelle are confirmed to be there. Mercedes Martinez, I think her name is confirmed to be there.
Yeah, that's good.
We've got at least people who've made a strong showing on Impact Wrestling beforehand that they're coming back into.
Renee Michelle.
Yes, that's the one. And I can't believe I forgot Renee Michelle. I was so impressed by her. I'm gutted I forgot about
Renee
her.
Michelle. I'm definitely hoping to see Killer Kelly turn up on this one.
Yes,
I have a little feeling. I think they've got some. They've definitely got some big surprises.
We've got a Monsters Ball tribute match for Daphne, as you guys might know as well. So I'm thinking we might see Taylor Wilde versus Rosemary in that match, in tribute to Daphne, because Daphne was and Taylor Wilde had the first Monsters Ball.
You could be right. You could be right.
And there's rumors going around that Deonna Purrazzo faces Tessa Blanchard in it as well. Deonna Purrazzo has got a mystery opponent. But there's rumors that that is Tessa Blanchard.
Really?
Yeah. But that's rumors that's going around on Facebook. So don't take it for Joker's facts. It's just fiction.
That's also interesting, given that Ace kind of dropped the word undeniable on the Victory Road, didn't he?
Yeah, no, I love the way he did that, because for me it just reminded me of his rivalry with Tessa Blanchard at the start of the year when she was world champion, and he was excellent. The way he took that was just such a great way to just play off of everything Scott D'Amore invested in, and then shove it back in Scott's face as well. But Knockouts Knockdown, it's great to see it back, and hopefully this will be a yearly Impact Plus special too. That's what I hope so.
Let's hope so. I think definitely. I think every October it'd be great to see a Knockouts Knockdown. Again, for me though, I think a Knockouts Knockdown should be live. Personally, I think it should be a proper kind of pay-per-view event, just like NWA Empower was.
Yeah, it's all been taped now. The tapings were September the 17th through to the 8th, through to the 19th.
No, it has been taped for this year. But what I'm saying is, I just think it would be amazing if it was turned into a proper full-on pay-per-view at some point. I think female wrestling is gone to another level, mate. It's over the last 4 or 5 years, female wrestling is gone to another level. So, let's hope that this does become a permanent fixture, even if it just stays as an Impact Plus special or a monthly special every year. I think it's going to be one of those that everybody's looking forward to. It's going to be fantastic. What are your thoughts on Knockouts Knockdown, Steve?
Credit to Impact for getting hold of Veda Scott. I think she is fantastic. And if they are able to keep hold of her after Knockouts Knockdown, that will be amazing, because she's someone who has so many attributes in so many different areas. She is definitely someone that they need, that they would benefit from. You know, Melissa Santos is one of those where, you know, she's a if they keep her, okay. If she goes, okay, you know, she's a take or leave for me. But either way, the event is building up nicely behind the scenes from what we hear. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what they put on. And like you say, I feel like if it goes as well as it sounds like it could go, it could very well be a yearly thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I agree. And I still believe that if these sort of things go really, really well, I still honestly believe that we could see a 1 hour weekly show for the Knockouts, Impact Knockout show. I think it would be so good, especially if they could pull in, you know, like get Lady Frost signed, get Rennie Michelle signed, get Killer Kelly signed. Let's get, you know, another 5 or 6 female talents on that roster. You know, we're talking about, you know, the Inspiration. Maybe they can come in. You know, let's get these guys in there and let's really showcase what the Knockouts roster is all about. Let's make it. It's already classed as one of the best rosters in the world. Let's make it. You know, take it a word. Probably everyone's going to slam me for this, but let's make it undeniably the best female roster in the world. You know, I think they can do it. I honestly believe that they can do it. And I really hope that they invest the time in that, definitely. Now, I'm going to say this now, and I know this is going to be really, really unpopular with my brother Mark over there, right? I think there's a story to be told with Tessa Blanchard coming back to Impact Wrestling, right? Now, I can take it or leave it. She doesn't, you know, like, I'm not saying I want her to come back. What I'm saying is I can see a story of redemption being told when it comes to Tessa Blanchard. I don't want to see her in anything other than maybe in the Knockouts division. I don't want to see her, you know, going back for the world title or anything like that. But you know, she is a hell of a wrestler. Like you cannot deny that she is an incredible wrestler, right? You can't deny that. Okay, so
Matt's so mad.
I know he has. But you know, if you put her in the ring with a Deanna Praza, and Deanna Praza beats her, right? Because that's what you would have to do, because Deanna's our girl, right? Then how amazing does it make Deanna Praza look? She's beaten a former world title holder. You know, that's. You know, this is the thing. It's a story. You know, there could be a story for this, and it could be really good. But I just don't know.
She's there for maybe one night, or if she's just, you know, and again, we don't know if Tessa is coming back.
No, of course not.
No.
I don't know if she's coming back. I'm just offering.
Talking, you know, yeah.
I'm talking hypothetically.
Hypothetically, you know. It depends if she does come back for one night and that's it, or if she does come back and stick around. So yeah, we'll just have to see. Like I say, she might not even show up. But yeah, it's
no, of course, and I know that there's a lot of people that are kind of very divided on the Tessa thing. You know, and like I said, I can take it or leave it. You know, I'm not actually that bothered, you know, if she came in or not. But I do believe that there is a potential story there that could be told, a redemption story there, definitely, and could make interesting TV. But, you know, who knows? I'm sure she's not coming back. It's just all up there in the air. Who knows? But, you know, I'd like to see...
reporter thinks, I'll make a story and get loads of interest in this story.
You just don't know, do you? You just don't know. It's got, you know, maybe you could write an article on it, Steve, and see how much heat you get from Mark.
Yes.
Brother Mark will be all over it, baby. Mark will be all over this.
Tomorrow that I think is going to get a lot of people discussing.
Oh, God. You got some heat the other day just because you didn't mention a couple of people's favourites. It's like, Jesus Christ. It's just an opinion. You know what I mean? We all have an opinion. Like, calm down. Calm down. Calm down. You know, that's what we need. That's what we need. Where is that soundbite? You know, where's J-Bone giving us some sound bites in the background, you know?
Calm down.
Calm down. Don't want to do it like this. Calm down. But anyway, let's get into what was advertised for Impact tomorrow, which again is not very much. And you know, they're keeping a lot of things under wraps by the looks of it for tomorrow night on Impact. But what we do know is that Josh Alexander himself is going to kick off the show.
Wish I'd thought of that.
So I'm really glad. I'm really glad that we don't. Make sure we don't miss the start of the show because we don't want to miss Josh, do we? We then have a match advertised, which is Bullet Club's very own Hikuleo versus David Finlay. Now, of course, you know, we know that there's a feud here. If any of you guys have been watching any of the New Japan Strong stuff on YouTube or wherever you managed to pick up on it, you'll know that there's already a feud building here between these two guys. So this does sort of kind of, if you're watching some of that, then it does sort of kind of make sense. But yeah, so it's all good. It's all good. What are your thoughts on this match? Let's go with Steve first.
Again, you know, it's going to be a very, very interesting to see here in a singles match. Kind of interesting to see Finlay in there again because this will be the third Impact in a row, I believe, that we'll see him wrestling.
Well, Finjuice are on the roster page now.
Oh yeah, I know, but I half expected to maybe see. I know he's maybe kind of still storyline-wise carrying the injury, but, you know, I kind of half expected maybe to see Juice in there to kind of maybe sort of fresh, you know, change it up a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good match, and I assume that they have got a bit of history together over in Japan. So yeah, it's going to be a hell of a match. But yeah, you got to keep Hikuleo looking strong.
I definitely, and I think that probably, although I don't know, like I said, I mean, Hikuleo is sort of kind of on loan, so he's there to sort of kind of enhance the Bullet Club presence. But like I said, I mean, at the end of the day, we got the Chris Bay and Hikuleo win at Victory Road. You know, maybe we could get a win here from David Finlay. Who knows? What do you think on this one, Joe?
I'm looking forward to seeing what Hikuleo can do. He's going to have Chris Bay in his corner or back watching, and it's going to be interesting to see. David Finlay puts on great matches on his own. Does. So that's great. You know, it's going to be a good match to begin with. There is a bit of history between the Bullet Club and David Finlay. You know, from Jay Lethal and David Finlay having that title match a couple of months ago. So and. What happens to one member of the Bullet Club happens to everybody in the Bullet Club, like a mafia type thing. You know, you mess with one, you mess with all of them. So
yeah, totally.
It's just going to be an interesting match, and it's a great way to carry on everything from Victory Road too. It's just to show this match wasn't just a one-off for the sake of it. It's going to be some build, and it might even lead to something for Bound for Glory.
Yeah. And interestingly enough, I think you're right, Mark. I think he's got some, you know, David Finney's got some great, he's got some great genes. He's tough as nails. You know, like you say, his dad, Fit Finney, was a absolute legend of the ring. And you know, if you have seen any of the Fit Finney matches, then you'll probably see a bit of Fit Finlay in David as he performs, because you could definitely see that his dad's had quite an influence on his in-ring, you know, on his in-ring sort of kind of style and the way he goes about business. So yeah, he's a fantastic talent. I think this is going to be a pretty hard hitting match between these two. I think it's going to be really good. We then have Rohit Raju versus Chelsea Green, an intergender match. Now, of course, you know, we know that Impact's not afraid of doing these intergender matches, so it's all good. But is Chelsea Green going to get the better of Rohit? What are your thoughts, Joe?
Yes, I think Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green are going to get one over in Rohit again, and it's going to carry on this rivalry. I think this is going to blow up at Bound for Glory too, between Matt Cardona and Rohit Raju. But it's now, I think what they're trying to do is they're slowly bringing out the nastier side of Matt Cardona. You know, we saw that in the no disqualification match, and even after the kiss he gave to Chelsea Green after the match, she had no idea what the hell was going on, because from her reaction was like, "What the hell was that?"
So, where did that come from?
Yeah. So something's happening with Matt Cardona. It's that Rohit knocks her out, and Matt Cardona snaps even more that way. So one way or another, we're going to see something new from Matt Cardona at the end of this week, or as we get closer to Bound for Glory. Rohit Raju, you know, we saw when he was exhibition champion and what he did to Jordan Grace. You know, he's not afraid to take on anybody, and he's just backing up the fact that he's all about equality.
He doesn't care if you're male or female. He's going to just kick your ass.
Yeah. And so it's just a great storyline between Matt Cardona and Rohit Raju getting more development. So, and it's good to see Chelsea Green in the ring too. So it's good to see that, you know, she's still got the broken arm, but she's still able to compete still. So it's good to see that she's not sitting at backstage doing nothing.
Okay, what about you, Steve? What do you think?
Yeah, like this match is difficult to call because there's so many moving parts. I mean, you've got the sort of the element, well, that we're suspecting that, you know, could be a change in character with Cardona. I mean, Rohit lost at the pay-per-view, didn't he? So you think, well, is he going to lose again? But then you got the element of Shiro as well, haven't you? Who kind of is very lenient on not wanting to attack Chelsea. So is anything happening there? So there's a lot of different directions that this match can go in, isn't there?
Yeah, I honestly believe, I think we are starting to see a Matt Cardona full heel turn. I think it could happen tonight. I think it could happen tomorrow night, where all of a sudden Cardona snaps completely, and you know, he just leaves Rohit Raju in a pile of blood on the floor. You know, after, you know, seeing him kind of beat down on his beautiful girlfriend. I don't know. Maybe there's definitely a story here, and it could go several ways. So we're definitely going to have to keep a close eye on it. That's for sure.
You sort of think he'll go into that like Eddie Edwards sort of mode that he was in when Eddie Edwards, where he was just that kind of like, you know, I'm kind of just going crazy kind of thing.
Yeah, when Sammy broke Eddie, and then Moose broke Eddie.
Yeah, that's right. We want to see Kendra the kendo stick. But anyway, we then have also got Mickie James will be in the Impact Zone as well. Now, you know, I don't know what this is going to be, but there was an amazing Twitter post from Deanna Purrazzo earlier in the week with regards to the fact that Mickie James is going to be there. I don't want to read that one out, but cool. It was certainly there were certainly some choice words from our Queen Deanna. So yeah, I think that's going to be interesting. I'm sure we're going to see Deanna Purrazzo come out and confront Mickie James with regards to the beatdown that she took at the Go Home show from Mickie James, where Mickie was just totally on it big time at that point. So I'm interested to hear what Mickey's got to say, and I'm interested to see Deanna Purrazzo's reaction. What about you, Joe?
We all know that Deanna Purrazzo is going to get Mickie James to Bound for Glory. So it's now that what they need to do is to really, really build as much hype for this up as possible, because we know Deanna Purrazzo is most likely going to win. So set the atmosphere and set the tone. So we want Deanna Purrazzo to win, or we want to see Mickie James put on a hell of a show. This is going to be exactly what like Gail Kim and Tessa Blanchard was in my eyes. It's going to be passing the torch from one legend to an absolute to the future legend. And Deanna Purrazzo has done an amazing job since she's come to Impact Wrestling, and it's great. It's great to see how that and these two people that were shot down by WWE are now putting each other over on Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, no, without doubt. What about you, Steve? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I've got to agree. Like, considering that this has been, you know, the seeds were planted at Slammiversary, so this has been slowly building since then. It doesn't really need too much more build, so they may as well just sort of come out and flat out announce the match for Bound for Glory, tomorrow night. So yeah, I can see like Deonna getting involved, and then Scott coming out and say, right, well, you two will face it Bound for Glory.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, Mark, can I just say I prefer the UK version of Fit Finlay, but anyway, that's another story. Go on, Steve. Sorry, mate. What were you saying?
No, that was pretty much me sort of over and out.
Okay, buddy. So I think we've got a lot coming in. I think it's going to be a promo heavy show tomorrow. We've got a lot of stuff coming from from the fallout from obviously Victory Road. We had 10 fantastic matches, and lots of stories to be told coming out of that. So
we need to know if this is okay. That's the big concern.
We do. We definitely need to know if Alicia's okay, or maybe this is the point where Sue Young and her undead bridesmaids pick her up and turn her into a complete monster.
By design.
Alicia Edwards violent by design. Can you believe it? She gets baptized.
That would be a change.
The holy waters of change. She gets baptized into the holy waters of change. That would be amazing. Yes, you need to check it out. Go on YouTube. Go and check it out. There's some really great stuff from Finlay from the UK. Very, very good stuff. So that pretty much rounds up this week's show, guys. We've hit 1 hour 35. I think we've done really well there, considering we had 10 matches to cover for Victory Road. We had a little bit there on Sammy. We've had a bit to discuss there with regards to tomorrow. It's a shame we haven't got a BTI match advertised to talk about yet. So I'm looking forward to see what they come up with. That might not pop out till, obviously, for you guys, it'd be later on today in the US. For us UK guys, I'm sure we won't get to see it until tomorrow. But yeah, really, really looking forward to it. I just want to basically say I have a new Bison Talks Wrestling interview coming out later this week. So Friday, 6 p.m. in the UK. Make sure that you check that one out. Obviously, 6 p.m. UK, 12 noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. Make sure that you check it out. I'm calling it Bison Talks Wrestling because it's not an Impact talent. It's the beautiful Alex Windsor, who we had on the show as a guest last week. I did a proper sit down with her, good 25-30 minute interview. Well worth it. It was a really, really good match. Really, really good interview. And don't forget, actually, the match that she recently had at Wrestle Carnival of Honor that I actually attended personally is now available on YouTube, and I could not recommend more going and checking that match out. It's basically for the Shimmer Heart Championship. It was the first time ever that it's been fought over outside of Shimmer. Just make sure, and you're right, Gary, she could be a future Impact talent if she gets noticed. Because believe you me, she would fit perfectly into the Impact Knockouts roster, I can assure you. Please go and check this match out. I think that we're going to drop it in. We're going to drop a link to the YouTube match in the chat, in the comments. Are you able to do that, Steve? Or can we get Mr. J-Bone in the background just to pop a link to the YouTube of her match that she did at Wrestle Carnival against Hyan, the Heart of Shimmer champion? It's well worth a watch, guys. It really is. Go and check it out, and then check out my interview with her, which is coming out at 6 p.m. on Friday. In the UK, and as I said, the same time as this show comes out in the US. So please don't forget to head over to the TNI Patreon for exclusive extra content when you sign up, and also make sure you watch tomorrow night's TNI Flagship Impact Live review directly after the show is aired on Twitch and YouTube. Also, all TNI shows are available for all of you listen on the go fans as audio only via SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to your favorite shows. That really said, where can we find you, Brother Joe?
You can follow me on Twitter at JOKEmptyspace. You can jump onto WrestleBuddy and I do ask you guys, please do check out the article I wrote. And on the X Division and predictions I had for Slammiversary. But the one on Rosemary, it was a big, long 3-month project. So I'm waiting for some feedback really to see what everyone really thinks of it. So and you can also jump on or tickle your taste. Try that again, shall we? Jump onto Facebook and look for hashtag empty space, hashtag the void.
My God, Joe, we're having issues here, brother.
Tickle your taste buds, a mind open, and you might keep your sanity.
Okay, fair enough. What about yourself, Steve? Where can we find you, brother?
You can find me over on Twitter at simplysteve311, or you can also, like Joe, find me over at russellbuddy.com, where every Thursday we'll be bringing out a new Impact Wrestling related article, and hopefully tomorrow we won't cause too much issue with anybody.
Let's hope not. But having said that, mate, any heat is good heat, that's for sure, right? It's all good publicity. It doesn't matter. Your opinion is your opinion at the end of the day. We all don't have the same opinion, just like you like to Neil Dashford and I don't. It's just the way it is, brother. It's just the way it is.
Yeah. And a lot of times you can only have cut 5. It's a top 5.
Exactly.
And Impact has such a history.
Yeah. You just have to pick your favorite top 5, and that's the way it works.
I wish I could do a top 250.
Yeah. Let's do top 100 Impact talents, Impact knockouts. But there you go. If you're interested in finding out a bit more on the Bison, you can find me over on the Twitter box at Lord Bison 45. That's pretty much where I talk wrestling. Please come over and give me a follow because I love talking with all you guys about Impact Wrestling and British wrestling as well. If you're a British wrestling fan, please don't hesitate to give me a follow. Well, that's about it for Impacted Live. We hope you've enjoyed spending time with us as we talk all things Impact Wrestling. Please take the time to help us moving up on the rankings on YouTube by giving us a thumbs up. And if you're new to us and you like what you've seen, then don't forget to click subscribe. And don't forget to give the bell a tickle, a squeeze, or a smash.
Do you got hair on your booty cheeks?
Nice, I like it. And smash that bell to never miss any of the great content coming in from the TNI-UK US teams each and every single week. With all that said, I've been Bison, your host, and they have been TNI-UK's The Joker and Simply Steve. And this has been episode 49 of Impacted. Take care, everyone. Boom. Too sweet.
This is sick. This is sick. This whole place is going to hell in a handbasket. We're Bison! We